Welcome to this Cloud Builder level on online transaction processing. You start by learning about a number of concepts involved when building for online transaction processing. First, a quick sidebar into a detail about EC2 instances. EC2 instances are categorized based on a use case. They are then subcategorized based on an instance family. They are finally subcategorized based on an instance type. Online transaction processing is a type of data processing that consists of executing a number of transactions occurring concurrently. For example, online banking, shopping, order entry, or sending text messages. A relational database is a collection of data items with predefined relationships between them. These items are organized as a set of tables with columns and rows. PostgreSQL is a powerful, open-source object relational database system with over 30 years of active development that has earned it a strong reputation for reliability, feature robustness, and performance. Amazon Relational Database Service is a service that makes it easier to set up, operate, and scale a relational database in the AWS cloud. It provides cost-efficient, resizable capacity for an industry-standard relational database and manages common database administration tasks. A database is an isolated environment running in the cloud which can contain multiple user-created databases. Each database supports a database engine. Amazon RDS currently supports MySQL, MariaDB, PostgreSQL, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server. Note: Amazon Aurora is a distinct service. DB instances, similar to EC2 instances in that they have CPU and memory, are the basic building blocks of Amazon RDS. Each AWS account can have up to 40 Amazon DB instances. Databases are categorized into single DB instance. Consists of one DB instance in one availability zone. Multi-AZ instance. Consists of two DB instances in two availability zones. Only one DB instance, the primary, is active at a time. Multi-AZ cluster. Consists of three DB instances in three availability zones. One 1DB instance, the writer, can process both reads and writes. The other two can, however, process reads. Similar to EC2 instances, DB instances are categorized using a similar structure. There are also restrictions based on database engines. For example, the DBM 5D DB instance family is only available for the Microsoft SQL Server database engine. A subnet group assigned to a database is a collection of subnets in a VPC to create DB instances in. If it is important to you, you can manually force a failover to move the primary, or writer, DB instance in a multi-AZ instance, or cluster, database to another subnet. Databases are also categorized into password authentication, password and IAM database authentication, and password and Kerberos authentication. Here you will build upon the two-tier one-zone architecture built in the Cloud Builder level, multi-tier multi-zone architecture. A single DB instance database is placed in a private subnet and is only accessible by an EC2 instance in a public subnet. You first select a region for the database at the upper right corner of the AWS Management Console. Search for the RDS service and select it. Select the Subnet Groups menu item and press the Create DB Subnet Group button. Name and describe the subnet group, private, and associate with the VPC you created. Add the two private subnets. Press the Create button. Observe the newly created subnet group. Search for the VPC service and select it. Select the Security Groups menu, create a security group named and described as database. In it, create an inbound rule to port 5432 from any resources associated with the web security group. Search for the RDS service and select it. Select the Databases menu item and press the Create Database button. Select the Standard Create option, PostgreSQL option, and Free Tier option. Scroll down and observe that this will create a single DB instance database. Set a master password, confirm it. Observe the DB instance class. Observe the private subnet group you created earlier is already selected. Select the database security group that you created earlier. Observe the selected password authentication option. Press the Create Database button. Next, you launch an instance that runs a publicly available web server with the provided properties. Finally, you SSH into the web server instance and install the PostgreSQL client using the provided command. Using the database's endpoint, use the PostgreSQL client to connect to the DB instance. Use the provided command to quit the PostgreSQL client. Notice: at this point, we would normally configure the web server to connect to the DB instance. But that is out of the scope of this tutorial. Now it is time for you to do something by yourself. Not much to do here other than to remember to terminate the EC2 instances and delete the database to avoid ongoing charges for them. Congratulations! You have completed this Cloud Builder level.